This week's podcast is brought to you by Razor Kick Scooters. Step on a genuine Razor kick scooter and feel the fun. Shred the pavement, bust out big tricks, or cruise around town in style. Only Razor Scooters features innovative design, unrivaled construction quality, and cool styles and features. Check out our newest scooters and the originals that sparked the Razor revolution. Also, next time you go to your local Razor mechanic, just tell them, hey, promo code SBB, and they'll give you 15% off your next maintenance, repair, or tune-up. Let's get into this.
Turn it up.
This week's rendition of the Sports Betting Brothers podcast, we will be here.
Full staffed.
Hey. Ray, Ron, and intern Flad. What's going on, guys?
Great to be here. Good to be back.
Another great week we had. NFL. Killing it for us.
NFL, college. If my math is correct, I listened to some of our previous podcasts to make sure. I believe we are 7-7 on the year.
Let's go.
We're back to 500 after a rough couple weeks there. We're kind of back on track. We're excited here to get going. Flad, it's great to have you back on the show personally.
Man, I couldn't be happier to be back. Definitely deserved the suspension. Totally going to own up to that, but served it, and I'm refreshed and ready to go.
Yeah, there's no ill will held towards you from us. We're looking forward to what you bring to the show this week. But we want to get back here and start with a quick recap of some games from last week in terms of college football. I want to start by talking about the Clemson Tigers. Now, in my opinion, Clemson might be the best team in college football, and I think we need to start with giving credit to Dabo Swinney.
I like Dabo Swinney.
I said this on the preseason. You did not want to.
I know.
They're good.
They are, and it comes down to his recruiting classes and the fact that he's just developing a consistent program, very much like Alabama, that just seems to reload every single year.
This is Alabama, people. There is no way possible that they can beat Alabama.
They were dominant in every single phase of a 47-21 victory over Louisville. Game day was there, but I don't really think it was much of a game. They held Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson to 64 rushing yards. And, he threw for 317 through the air, but most of them came in garbage time. Meanwhile, Clemson's still developing offense ran for just under 300 yards on 48 carries. Ron, your boy Kelly Bryant, who I was still sleeping on until this game, I'm buying in now, had a terrific night, completed 22 of 36 passes for 316 yards and a touchdown. The Tigers look tremendous right now. In my opinion, as long as their defense stays healthy, it's going to be hard to imagine any teams being able to score on them consistently.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do with Lamar Jackson here? I mean, this was his issue last year. Can't win the big game. How does that affect his Heisman?
I personally don't think that they're going to let him repeat as Heisman anyways. So, I mean, even if he shows out the rest of the year, I just don't see the voters giving it to him again personally. But
maybe like week 6 or something, we give a little Heisman.
Heisman update. See what we're doing. See what's going so far. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Can we talk about Texas, guys?
Let's talk about the Longhorns. Go ahead, Flad.
Where the hell was this Texas team in week 1 when you guys picked them against Maryland?
Don't know. I wish they would have, though.
Yeah, they lost to USC 27-24 double OT with my boy. Yeah, with my boy Matthew McConaughey patrolling the Texas sidelines. But, I mean, they actually look like they belong.
Yeah.
If not for Sam Darnold going for, 52 yards in 45 seconds with no timeouts to get into field goal range at the end of regulation, Texas would have left Los Angeles with a monster win. But is this a real, Texas is back, or, is it simply Tom Herman getting his team sky high for big games and just doing what he always did at Houston?
This game was played with a backup quarterback.
He might be their quarterback now.
He reminds me of the Arkansas quarterback a couple years ago, just taking a beating, but somehow making fantastic throws off his back foot, and just shouldn't be good, but he is.
This was, Texas and USC. The last time they had a really good game like that was the Vince Young.
Was the first time they played since then.
Was the Vince Young
dream team. Dream team.
But this was a great game to watch. USC survives here and moves on and keeps themselves in the national title.
They did drop in the AP ranks.
But another team here that I think was worth mentioning here was Mississippi State. We were on Mississippi State as a dog, and Ron actually almost had them as his dog of the day last week against LSU. We thought they had a good chance to win straight up, even with getting 7.5 points as a home conference dog. But this was an absolute dominant performance. Dan Mullen has shown once again that he is one of the better coaches in the SEC. He might be the second best coach in the SEC behind Nick Saban, and it shows us once again that Starkville is a tough place to play. This was an absolute one-sided performance in which Mississippi State walked all over LSU 37-7. And I'm going to say this. LSU, year in and year out, in my opinion, is constantly one of the most overrated, overhyped teams coming into the preseason every single year. And I'm saying this as an Irish fan who they're constantly overhyped every single year. LSU is constantly overhyped.
Man, you just said that.
I don't know what you want from me, folks, but LSU didn't show up in a big game. They got dominated. I think they are on the hype train every year, and I'm just not buying it.
How good is Nick Fitzgerald?
He's great. He burned us last year one time when we bet against him. I think he can run, he can throw. I think he's a good quarterback.
He's going to get a Heisman preseason bet from me at some point here in the next 2 years. Because he is only I believe he's a true sophomore.
Correct.
Their football team might be a little overrated. Their spirit squad's not. Full disclosure, disclaimer.
Next game, I had UCLA over Memphis. Couldn't get the job done. West Coast traveling to the East Coast to play. An early start, I believe it was 9 o'clock their time.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Rosen played well.
The legend of Josh Rosen!
It's more about UCLA's defense and the inability to stop anything. That Anthony Miller, the walk-on, shredded them.
Former walk-on.
Could they stop him? 185 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He's a beast.
And I said Memphis will come out and throw the first punch, and they did, and I thought we were fine. UCLA took a commanding 10-point lead right before halftime, and I think Memphis scored to make it closer before half, but they just couldn't stop anything. What did Rosen say after the game? He said he was trying to play hero ball. Yeah. Can't win games when you do that.
Yeah, and it's tough when your defense in particular. I thought their run defense was okay, but their secondary was just getting shredded. And
I thought Memphis would be able to run the ball, but they actually did it through the air.
Right. That Miller kid was all over the field. Torched their secondary, and it was a shootout. It was we thought that it would be like last team to have the ball, gets it done type of deal. It did come down to the final couple minutes, and Rosen tried to make a play.
The legend of Josh Rosen!
It's just, tough loss for us. The whole world was probably on UCLA, and that shot probably should have screamed, take Memphis or don't bet it. Right. But, we thought UCLA was clearly the better team.
Would, can they contend in the Pac-12? They're going to upset some.
I do. They have the offense to do it, and I still think is the best quarterback in the country, and anytime you have him on your team.
Not his fault. Yeah. Not his fault at all.
Last, but certainly not least, how about the Gators, guys?
Oh, what a finish.
Talk about a finish there.
It's about time that happened to Tennessee after they got that done to them twice last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Karma. They pull one out in the swamp it was a miraculous Hail Mary pass. As the time expires,
Franks off his back foot. Yes. How good is he? Is he good? Is he an NFL prospect?
Stop. Relax.
He's good.
60 yards off his back foot.
It comes on the heels of a fumbled ball on the Tennessee 1-yard line earlier in the game. Resulted in that touchback for Tennessee, and Florida getting no points on the drive. Butch Jones really needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Terrible red zone offense. The safety from Tennessee, what are you doing on that play? Just
what they're doing.
Exactly.
They're throwing deep. You know what's coming.
Did you see? Actually, it was the pregame for, I think it was right before the 1 o'clock games. They were showing that last play, and they just pretty much ripped apart how awful that Tennessee defense was set up.
Was it under the "you have one job" segment?
Exactly.
Because it's going to be under that. Don't let them get deep.
They had a cornerback 30 yards deep along the sidelines, still 20 yards away from the end zone. Not even covering anybody. What are you doing? It was, that was crazy.
We had Florida.
Is Bush Jones the first coach fired? Put that bet in.
It's not bad.
It's a good prop bet.
It's out there. You can bet that.
I don't hate it. For us, I was happy to see because we had the Gators in like a pick'em pool, an ATS pick'em pool, so I was happy to see them get that and get it done. But another exciting week of college football here. We're looking forward to this week, and I know we're about to get into some of our plays here momentarily.
Diving into some plays here for this week, my first pick is going to be Toledo plus 13 at Miami.
The U.
Yes, the U, not the Ohio. I will be talking about that Ohio team later. A little foreshadowing for you. But Toledo QB Logan Whiteside, great college quarterback. Right, just over 1,000 yards, 8 TDs, 1 interception through 3 games. Toledo is a fantastic team. I think they're one of the best, like kind of like a Western Michigan of last year. Might have that bid as the best non-Power 5 team.
Wow.
They won at Nevada, and they took care of Tulsa. They averaged 46 points per game. Miami, on the other hand, they've only played 1 game after an unexpected 2-week off due to the hurricane. No pun intended there. They're, the Miami Hurricane, whatever. They did look good in their first game. They played Bethune-Cookman.
It's my team,
Cookman
dude.
scored. Can you tell me their mascot?
No, I have no idea.
I believe it's the Wildcats. They did allow 13 points. This is also the same Bethune-Cookman team who got shut out by Lane Kiffin and FAU. I think this spells slow start, as it's kind of like another week 1 for them, like before they get going, back to the grind of playing every week. Sluggish start from Miami, I see happening. I don't think there's no way this game is more than 2 touchdowns, in my opinion.
Ron, I don't want people sleeping on Bethune-Cookman though either.
Yeah, they're a good team.
We got a lot of promise here.
I don't have too much to add, Ron.
We sat at one of the restaurants where former podcast Ramblin' Rodney.
Yeah.
Sorry, that I had a hard time thinking of his name. That's not his real name. That's
Rambling Rodney.
Yeah.
Rodney the Rambler.
Where he worked. What was the place he worked at? I forget. But we sat there and watched the Toledo game. We had the over, and this Whiteside kid was slinging it. Like, he's a good quarterback. You've seen him play before.
I don't have too much to add. I'll just say I do think the time off due to the hurricane and everything down there that affects. I mean, these kids aren't professionals. They're trying to balance school and unless you're Josh Rosen.
The legend of Josh Rosen.
School and football.
Cardale Jones.
And I just think they're might be a little bit out of sync. I could see the slow start thing happening, and hopefully they can keep it there within the number.
I'm low on the Sooners. The Hurricane this year.
I'm the opposite. I do think that I love their defense. I think they win this game, obviously, but I think it could be a lot closer than the experts think.
Not a game a lot of people are looking at. I think there's some value there. We tried to do that last week.
Gonna dive into another game here. Arkansas at Texas A&M. Texas A&M minus 2.5. We have the 2-1 Arkansas Razorbacks visiting the 2-1 Texas A&M Aggies. Neutral site game at AT&T Field. It's classified as a neutral site game, but this location clearly favors the Aggies, as it's being played there in Arlington. The Aggies here are looking to build a little bit of momentum. They improved to 2-1 on the season following a 45-21 victory over Louisiana Lafayette in Week 3. They were actually booed at halftime because it was close.
One of the players
gave the finger to the fans. But I actually like this because they came out in the second half and just absolutely destroyed them. Quarterback Kelly Mond, for the first time, they weren't shuffling quarterbacks around because there was an injury at some point before the game or during it. He was 21 for 34 for 301, 3 touchdowns, added another one on the ground then. Their defense, the Aggies defense, had 3 interceptions, a handful of sacks, and I look for them to continue their good play this week.
Who was this against? Lafayette?
Louisiana Lafayette, yeah. The Razorbacks, on the other hand, are looking to rebound. They had their first loss of the season last week against my TCU Horned Frogs.
Yeah, student.
Yeah, current grad student. 28-7. Their quarterback, Razorbacks quarterback Austin Allen, struggled mightily. He was just 9 for 23 passing for only 138 yards and a touchdown.
Putrid.
He's the brother of former Arkansas quarterback.
Correct. Yeah. In reality, Arkansas just struggled as a whole last week, and Texas A&M, as I mentioned, they rebounded. They have a little momentum going here. They recovered from that epic collapse against UCLA. I think they're firing on all cylinders. I'm going to go ahead and take the Aggies. in what I think is a gift of a low line and what should be pretty much a home game for Texas A&M. I'm kind of throwing the trends out the door here because I think both teams have not been very good ATS dating back to last season. I'm just going on with what I've read, what I've seen here from both teams so far. I do like the fact that someone's going to have his team motivated after the hate mail that someone has received after their Week 1 collapse against UCLA, the stuff that went on nearing halftime last week's game. I just think that he's going to have his team ready to go. I think it's a great spot for them, and I really think this line should be closer to the touchdown. So I'm going to go ahead and take Texas A&M minus 2.5.
Awesome. Well, I think I'll just go right into my play. I'll keep it short and sweet. The Duke Blue Devils heading down Tobacco Road. But Dickie V will not be commentating this game. But who I'm going to take here is the Tar Heels. Duke is getting a minus 2.5 line. I'm going to go money line Tar Heels. They have quarterback Chaz. Is it Sturett? Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Something crazy. He has 2 Z's in his first name. Don't ever bet against a quarterback that has 2 Z's in his first name. Tar Heels plus 2.5.
How big of a rivalry is this? Is this as big of a deal?
Yeah, I think these schools don't like each other from an athletic standpoint.
Yeah.
I think anytime that you can get points in a rivalry game as a home dog, I think you take it. And
it's going to be awesome, baby.
I think you take the value and go money line, like you said.
It's going to be awesome, baby.
Thanks for that pick, Flad.
Sure.
Going to my next pick, going to highlight a team that Ray picked last week.
Yeah, it didn't come through for us. I was dead wrong.
Central Michigan Chippewas facing Miami, not the U, the Ohio Miami, the Redhawks. Game is being played at Central Michigan. They did let us down last week. We thought they had a chance to win outright. This is still a good team. This is a great spot to bet Central Michigan. Miami comes into this one after blowing a fourth-quarter lead to rival Cincy, who is no means a good team.
No, they're not good.
I think we're going to see the offense of Central Michigan thrive in this one, winning by double digits, and we only have to lay 2.5.
Next one I got for you here. Mentioned them a little bit here in our kind of overview from last week. I'm going to go right here to the Clemson Tigers. Boston College at Clemson. Clemson minus 34. As I mentioned,
you got to look at Boston College last week.
Yeah, I got a great in-depth look at Boston College, and that's one of the reasons here that I like this. I mentioned Clemson's the best team in college football right now. I would not want to play them. They're coming off that dominating win from last week. I'm not going to go into the details as I already gave that to you, but looking at this game, everyone knows Clemson's going to win this game. It's just going to be a question of how much, and I think it's going to be by at least 40 points or more, which would put us within that number. Boston College, I watched the entire game last week against Notre Dame. The Eagles allowed 515 yards on the ground, including a pair of 200 yards rushers. One of them being quarterback Brandon Wimbush, who set the record for yards and touchdowns for a Notre Dame quarterback in a single game.
Wow.
I think Kelly Bryant could do the same thing. I think he's similar quarterback, maybe not quite as fast, but a better passer, at least at this point in his career. Clemson's ground game and just overall talent is they're better than the Irish, and they're just going to simply overwhelm Boston College. I don't expect this, again, to be within 40 or 45 points. Lay the 34 points with confidence, and the Tigers are going to make it 6 straight ATS covers in a row.
Yeah, I had looked at this game as potentially like my super dog of the week. This game kind of reminded me of the Pitt game last year in Clemson, but at a second look, I saw Boston College defense is not anywhere close to what it was in the past 4 years. So
is Steve Adazio still BC's head coach? I don't know if you guys know.
I do not know off the top of my head.
Temple's reject. Actually, he left Temple, so.
Yeah, I believe he's still there.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah.
They do have the one good defensive end there who they put on a snap count limit to try to keep him fresh, I guess, but he's going to need to play every single down if he even wants to try to attempt to keep them within the number here. Lay the number, 34, with confidence.
Hey, Mom! I'm done with my segment!
Time for the best segment of the show.
It is the best segment of the show.
In my honest opinion.
It's pretty good.
Looking for another straight-up dog winner. Providing 2 for you.
Two straight-up winners for your dog.
Not easy to do.
Good job, man.
Not as much confidence in this one, but I still like the spread. We're going to head to Lincoln with the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, Sluckers.
Who here has ever been called a slut?
Visit the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. Shout out to Coach K. If you still listen, shout out to you, man. Can't wait to see you when the Huskers take on Penn State. going to be a bloodbath. I'll give you 30 right now if you want it. Go Big Red. That ain't working. This is a Nebraska team that barely got by Arkansas State before losing to Oregon and being upset by Northern Illinois. Rutgers got a confidence-building win last week versus Morgan State, who interestingly enough has not scored a point this year in 3 games. Wow. Ray or Flag, can you tell me the Morgan State mascot?
No.
Morgan State?
Don't get your hype.
I'm going to go with the Beavers. It's a complete guess.
I was going to go with the Bees, believe it or not.
You're close on the Bees.
Really? The Wasps?
Hornets. The Bears.
Oh.
On the B train there.
Oh, okay.
Nonetheless, I have this Nebraska team as one of the worst in the Power 5. Rutgers also is very bad, but I think they can keep it within the number, maybe squeak out an upright win as a 14-point dog. Maybe this is Rutgers' first big win in the Big Ten. I don't know. Go ahead and take the 14 points. Not as strong of a play on the money line here, but I do like the 14 points.
Robin looks to go 3-0.
What kind of bear is it? Is it just it's a bear? That's it. You don't like it?
Look to be like a brown bear.
Really?
I don't know if it's a brown bear or a grizzly bear.
Real
the
creative.
brown bear is a bigger bear, of the brown or the grizzly.
Yeah, real creative though, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still trying to get this segment going here a little bit, but I'm going to bring you another edition here of Ray's second-rate athlete of the week, and I'm actually going to leave the football realm here, and I'm going to call out NBA champion and Finals MVP Kevin Durant. What the hell are you doing? How insane? Like, this dude can't take criticism. Dude, you are the second best player in the NBA behind LeBron James. You're the finals. Shut up. You're the finals MVP. Okay? You just won an NBA title. Like, you have everything going for you. Okay? You can probably get any girl you want. Hey, you have millions of dollars. You have endorsements. And yet you care what people say to you on Twitter. You care what stupid beat reporters say about you in their articles on Bleacher Report. Like, no one – like, if I was in your shoes, I would not care. Okay? It's come to – there were some Reddit guys who were digging deep here a little bit and caught Kevin Durant in a deleted tweet where he was responding to some of his haters on Twitter, and it looked like he was accidentally logged into his main account when he should have been on like a burner account, and someone called him out. They said, man, I respect the hell out of you, but give me one legitimate reason for leaving OKC other than getting a championship. Durant responds on his main account, which was supposed to be like a burner or troll account, and he said he didn't like the organization or playing for Billy Donovan. His roster wasn't that good. It was just him and Russ. Imagine taking Russ off that team. See how bad they were. KD can't win a championship with those cats. And so not only do you have him calling out the former organization that he played for and the fans adored him there, but he's publicly calling out Billy Donovan.
And Steven Adams.
Big Steven Adams guy here.
Great Twitter pick from Kevin Durant. It's the catcher, the fat catcher from the Sandlot.
It is a great thing. But why do you have like a burner Twitter account to acknowledge trolls on Twitter? Like, now all you're doing is just fueling the fire here.
Maybe this is the standard for athletes. Maybe.
No, I don't.
I don't. He's the only one.
No, I think others do it. He's just the one that was dumb enough to actually get caught.
Was this a beat reporter that he was responding to, or just some
random dude on Twitter? And I'm looking at the Deadspin article now. But if you haven't seen this stuff, look it up. Apparently, he apologized today about it and said it was a dumb move. But I who knows how long he's been doing this for? I lost a little bit of respect for Kevin Durant. Not that I had any left after he left OKC to go to Golden State. But Kevin Durant, congratulations to you. Third week, you are Ray's second-rate athlete of the week.
You got the shifts, the plays, the protections, the snap count, the alert, the check with me's. Flip right double X jet, 36 counter naked waggle at 7X quarter. Call something at Auburn, it's a little verbal. What would be a little verbal? Any recollection on that?
So most of the time when we do college football, we just kind of try to find some games for you that we like. Something we want to add here is at the end of our college football segment to go through kind of the marquee games, if we didn't already touch on them, and just very quickly, like rapid fire, give you kind of our leans or which way we would go if you're looking to bet them. Because everyone's going to be watching these games, so if you want to throw money on them, here's kind of what we're thinking. How we're going to do this, Ron's just going to kind of read off the games, pick some of the marquee games, tell us the line, and then Vlad, myself, and Ron will kind of give our picks.
Okay, we're putting you on the spot here. You know, not a lot of research being done for some of these games. Nonetheless, Penn State traveling to Iowa. Penn State minus 12.5.
Penn State.
For me, I'm going to take Iowa. Double digits on at home, conference game, tough defense. I'm going to take Iowa.
Not so fast, my friend. Just kidding. I kind of like Iowa, too. Tough first road test for Penn State. I don't know. We'll see. I'm scared about this game as a Penn State fan. Moving forward, Texas A&M at Arkansas.
Already gave that.
The neutral pick. So, Vlad, what's your pick?
I have a thing already on that.
Yeah, you're calling this game. You can't make a
Texas A&M, Arkansas.
Neutral site, yeah.
Neutral site, flip a coin on the spread, in my opinion. I'm going to go with the Razorbacks.
Wow. I'm going to side with my boy Ray, take the Texas A&M Aggies.
All right.
Moving forward, UCF at Maryland. Is this Maryland team for real? Maryland minus 3.5.
Yeah, I'll take Maryland.
I like Maryland.
Yeah, I'll take Maryland home. I like what I saw against Texas in week 1. Yeah.
Wow.
Crab cakes
How
and
about
football.
NC State going to Florida State?
Sorry, I skipped over
NC
that
State
one.
going to Florida State. I believe the line
Florida
is
State minus 13.
Hey, well, money's on with Florida State. I like NC State's passing attack.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with them.
Classic fade the public there.
Yep.
Yeah, for me,
NC State is a decent defense.
For me here, I'm curious to see what Florida State does at quarterback here. I think their defense is legit, but let's go ahead and take the points there with
tough
NC
spot
State.
for Florida State.
Maybe take the under, actually.
Will they rally? With the loss of a quarterback, we'll see.
Money line.
TCU. This is game day, I believe. TCU at Oklahoma State.
God.
Oklahoma State minus 11.
I'd rather not participate on this one.
This is a tough one. For me, I like what I saw from TCU last week, but for me, I'm riding the OT State train until I see otherwise. That offense is unbelievable, and the defense has been okay so far.
Yeah, I thought about picking TCU as my dog of the week. Conference game. Could this be a preview for the first inaugural Big 12 championship game? Maybe. 11 points seems a little fishy to me. Another game that I think seems fishy, maybe trap spot, Alabama minus 18.5 at Vandy.
Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that's a big Vandy line, in my opinion. They're only getting 18 and a half. Wow.
That might be the toughest spread.
I'm actually going to take Vandy. I'm going to take Vandy. For me, betting against Nick Saban is like betting against the Patriots, and I don't like to do it. But I'm going to take Vandy. I like what I saw of them last week. I picked them actually as one of my plays last week. I'm going to roll with Vandy.
Yeah, I feel like Alabama always needs that kind of like kick in the ass game where they don't win as much as they should. So like I could see Alabama only winning by like 14 and Nick Saban just like flipping out.
Wow. Yeah, I think this is tough. Vandy is a good defense. I don't think they're going to pull an upset, but could they get it done? Plus 18.5. Let's hope they do.
I think the line says they can.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of respect to Vandy there.
Yeah.
I mean, they looked good last week for us, so hopefully they can get it done again. Michigan minus 10 at Purdue. Purdue, in my opinion, the most improved college football team in the nation.
Love the new coach there.
Yeah, I like Purdue there.
Yeah, I like Purdue in this spot. Can Michigan move the football consistently?
It's
going to
come down to that. It comes down to speed.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense, I believe, is legit, but we'll see what they can do against the pass. They haven't really been tested. Moving forward here, another great game. Mississippi State at Georgia. Line is Georgia minus 5.
Ooh, man.
Tough place to play.
That is a tough place to play, and because of that, I think I'm going to go with the Bulldogs minus 5.
Yeah, I like Mississippi State, but maybe they're riding high emotionally. I really like what I saw with the Bulldogs when they came to Notre Dame, and that was on the road. I'm going to take the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Georgia had an easy game last week. Mississippi State, I guess it was a fairly easy win, but they're coming off a high. I'd take Georgia there. Moving forward here, trying to find another good game for you guys here, getting into the 8 o'clock.
Ooh, there we go.
What do we got here?
Ooh.
Notre Dame, minus 4 at Michigan. Michigan State, rather.
At Michigan State, man, that is extremely tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna gun to my head here. I'm gonna kill myself anyways when they lose. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I'm actually gonna. I would take Sparty.
Who'd you take, Sparty?
That's exactly where I was going with it. I don't really like the spread there, so I think the best bet is going with the Spartans at that -4 spread.
Wow. Let's take Notre Dame. I still don't think this Michigan State team is that good. They haven't really been tested that much.
I just had my heart broken too many times.
That's battle tested, and somewhat proven. I'd take Notre Dame.
No, Michigan State's getting 4 at home. Notre Dame's favored. I don't know if that changes your opinion. Notre Dame is favored on the road.
Oh, okay. I see.
Not to talk you into it.
No, it's cool. I'm still learning
still
here.
Still home dog.
I still like Michigan State there.
Last game for us here, 10:30. A lot of people will be watching this. If you're a degenerate and you're still up, a lot of people will probably bet this game too. UCLA, both teams coming off terrible losses last week. UCLA at Stanford -7.5.
Ooh, God. Wow. The hook there too. Listen, this is a spot here where Stanford has a chance, in my opinion, to get himself back into the hunt a little bit for the Pac-12. I think they come out and play hard, play good defense. I still think they have one of the best defenses in the country, and I think they're going to be able to move the ball in UCLA. They're going to slow the game down.
Bryce Love is good.
I'm taking Stanford -7.5.
Yeah,
fuck it.
Money's on UCLA on this one, and it's a big statement game for the
78% of the money here on the UCLA spread.
Crazy.
You know what that means?
Yes.
Fade the public.
Fade the public. Go with the Cardinals.
You're learning,
Stanford.
Vlad. Great job.
I think Bryce Love is legit. And let's fade this UCLA defense. They're terrible.
I like it.
Really
fade them.
That's going to wrap it up for us with the marquee games here. I think we're going to dive into some NFL here.
Not so fast, Ron. It's my segment.
Time for his segment.
Yes. So, again, my apologies last week, guys. Just a bad week, with the Hurricanes. I went 0-2 my first week.
Were you down helping with cleanup?
No, I couldn't really.
That's your next punishment.
Yeah, well deserved. Going 0-2 my first week, it hit me hard. I had some serious thoughts about whether this is the right industry for me, but I'm back. It's good to be back, and I'm here with a new segment. So in my interview, you guys asked me what I could bring to the show, and I really appreciated the question. I came right back with a robust answer. Creatively create creative content, the 4 C's. I've brought it to the producing aspect. We wouldn't have our sponsors if it wasn't for that, the 4 C's. So for this segment, I'm going to spread the wealth, spread the 4 C's to some recipients that definitely need it. Feel free to chime in, guys. But I've already provisionally patented all these enhancements. So, you can't steal these. I'm in control here. So let's get to it. The first 4 C's segment. So first I have a little warm-up 4 C'er for you. Burger King. Get rid of your hot dogs. All right? Now, it's disgusting. I haven't gone to Burger King since they brought the hot dogs to the menu. I don't know if you guys...
Flame-grilled hot dogs.
Dude, come on, man. Five Guys came in the game, and Burger King, their tail went between their legs, and they're like, oh, well, let's just sell hot dogs. And don't live by your name. You know what I mean? Burger King
They're not a hot dog king.
Right, exactly. You're the king of burgers. Make a 9-patty special burger, where you're stacking up the patties. Make a double slider, a double patty slider. I don't know. Anything. You could put hot dogs in the burger for all I care, but stick to your name. Get rid of the freaking hot dogs. That's my first 4 C'er. I don't know what your thoughts are there on that.
That's great. It's totally unexpected.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I don't know if people out there, I'm sure people are like, oh, I love their hot dogs. No, you're an enabler, all right? You're enabling a shitty process to go on. Stop buying the hot dogs. BK, get rid of them. Next, I want to talk about NBA 2K18. I know that you guys are big.
Yeah, we perk up here for this.
Dude, it's an awesome game. I know you guys are so pumped up about it. It's sick. But there are a couple things, a 4 C'er that I want to implement to the My Player mode, which has taken the video game world by storm. This new My Player mode is pretty much incorporating GTA into 2K. It's sick. You got like a 2K world where you have a barber, an apartment, a fitness center. It's pretty sick. But wow, you literally have to slave away at the game in order to improve. I bought like the basic package.
Right, me too. Yeah.
Well, we got the early tip-off, so we got 5K VC.
Yeah, 5K, but I mean, like it's just like a pair of sneakers for the park. I mean, it sucks. I was in the gym in this like virtual fitness center for like 4 hours doing like box jumps, freaking squats,
rope battle,
ladder sprints. I was doing it all. So my guy was just slaving away, and I was like halfway up to 61. Just ridiculous. And then, lo and behold, I get up to like 800 VC. I log back in, and 400 of my VC just freaking vanishes. And I'm pissed because it took me forever to get it. So I caved. I bought 75K, spent $20 US on 75K worth of VC. And I tried to go to bed, but I couldn't. I was up all night trying to figure out the best way to invest my 75K. So, to kind of bring this all into full circle, what I think 2K should do is give players more investment options, stock options for your player. God forbid I have a season-ending ankle injury with my player. You think that scout's going to come back and try to recruit me to another tryout? Hell no. So I need some security, financial security in place. I think 2K would be smart to have a financial institution where you can put money in the bank, some international stock options, what have you. Wow. So that's my 4C.
I informed Flad that there was a glitch where you could get 75,000 VC for free.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He let out some explicit content. He wasn't happy.
I have no problem paying for it. I'll pay for the 75K gold coins, but give me some investment options, please.
What's your player and your archetype? Go. We're going to round the horn here.
Repeat the question, please.
Your player, height, and both archetypes.
Well, my first guy was Calvin Smalls, a 7'3" defensive sharpshooter. He's just absolutely disgusting. Weighs 295. Humble kid out of Missouri. Real grinder. And, he was looking to take the park by storm. But like I said, he can only do so much work in the gym.
Ray, your archetype?
Yeah, I'm C.J. Jones is a 6'8" small forward. He is a shot-creating, driving, and finishing forward. He can get to the rack. He's from the streets of Philadelphia, born and raised. He just has a real Mamba mentality about him. He was a big Allen Iverson guy growing up, so we're looking forward to him reaching these plateaus that he's destined for.
For my player, we have Tank Kelly, 6'4", passing and ball handling, driving and finishing point guard from Penn State, looking to really bring that program back to life, and he did that. He did go undrafted, but now he's back in the league. He just dropped his first triple-double against the Nuggets. They believe he went for 16, 11 boards, and 13 assists. So looking to build on that.
It's crazy. Every guy has that, that humble beginning story of, how they got taken off the streets and undrafted. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, awesome. So, basically to wrap up my segment, every now and then I'll come in with innovative. I'll put on my Marcus Lemonis faded hairline cap and throw out my 4 Cs for their some respective businesses. So, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Vlad. Does it for our college football stuff and some of our segments here. We want to finish this show by taking a look at some NFL games.
Let's bring it up, fellas.
We're going to start by just kind of looking through the NFL scoreboard from last week, talking about some games that stood out to us, players that stood out to us, storylines, those sorts of things, before we get into any plays.
Shout out to E for giving us a money line winner.
Yeah. He looked for some value for us, and if you took the Lions plus 155,
which we personally did.
How atrocious was that
That
Giants
was bad,
line?
The
man.
Lions
And McAdoo to blame that on Eli Manning, I disagree with that.
Retarded.
Listen,
man.
it's not Eli's fault. And
At some point, it is. He was holding on to the ball for some time, but
here's the thing, Eli is not putting this on his offensive line. He's, trying to be the leader of that locker room and taking it on himself. Here's the thing, though. I do think the Giants will get this corrected in some way. And the Giants, if they always start off slow, if they're a team that squeaks into the playoffs or is in the hunt down the end, I would not want to be playing them with that defensive line.
Well, we talked about it, I think it was like the first NFL week, how they're definitely a sleeper team in the NFC East and NFC, let alone as far as teams that could definitely make a run here.
Another game or team that kind of stood out to me, and I'm sure you guys would agree, was the absolute thromping that the Broncos put on.
Loved
Weird
it,
game.
baby.
That
Loved
game
it.
stopped midway through the second quarter due to lightning. Weird game, but the Broncos just came out with all the intensity. I believe it was 17-10 at that point, and they
I don't think anyone questions the Broncos' defense, but to me, to watch Trevor Siemian throw the football like he did, their offense,
he gets rid of it quick.
To throw 42 points is impressive. To shut down a back like Ezekiel Elliott is impressive.
Great game for me in my fantasy. I was only up 10 points, and he had Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys kicker, what's his name, freaking Bailey, to go. And Ezekiel Elliott was so atrocious that I ended up winning. It was pretty sweet.
Can we talk about the Chiefs? Are the Chiefs legit?
I do.
The
think
Eagles scored in the final seconds.
TD,
yeah, so it really almost was a 14-point win. I mean, are they legit?
That game came down to who was going to commit the first turnover.
The Chiefs were flying all over the field, like Travis Kelce diving into the end zone, and there was a sack where Chris Jones, I believe, jumped over a defensive end or a tackle, made a sack. Credit to Carson Wentz. I think he is better than I had thought. That was the first game I really watched him play.
He's a beast.
Yeah, no, he's good, but I think the Chiefs are legit.
Chiefs are legit. Another team to me that I think is going to start to garner some attention, and they were getting a little preseason hype, was the Titans. The Titans go into Jacksonville, and I know it's Jacksonville, but the Jacksonville Jaguars have a very good defense. They have a top 10 defense. They took it to Houston in Week 1, and the Titans roll over the Jaguars. Balanced attack. Mariota takes care of the football. They run the football with that two-headed monster there, Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray. I like what I saw from the Titans.
Yeah, and they didn't start off really strong, actually. Mariota struggled in the beginning. They still came away with it.
There wasn't a touchdown sprint in that game.
Yeah, shout out to one of our listeners who was chirping early in that game saying that that the Titans are overrated, and then very quickly we were all on him once the Titans rebounded there. But I'm not saying I think the Titans are going to be a playoff team. They might be.
They're very capable.
I was very impressed, nevertheless, with what I saw last week.
I was impressed with Miami.
I was just going to say.
Huge Jay Cutler
or Jarvis Landry, 11 catches.
That was
that
was the D-bag bowl between Jay Cutler and Phillip Rivers.
We're not best of friends at all. I'm just not that big of a fan of the guy.
Yeah,
I love both of those guys.
And the ultimate D-bag prevailed.
Another surprise. I think Atlanta, returned to form.
Yeah, wow. Atlanta on turf.
They did have both their starting tackles out, but they did look good. And we talked about the Lions getting it done on Monday night.
I guess the last one that I think is worth mentioning to me would be the Patriots rebounding. We had that.
Was there ever a doubt, though?
Well, yeah, that's why no doubt. But I'm saying
since 2004, the Patriots have lost back-to-back games only 6 times.
That's why we picked them in a teaser to just win, along with the Ravens, and that easily got it done for us last week. So
that's even games with Matt Castle for a full season.
I'm surprised it was that high. 6 games, hononly.
Yeah, that flashed up. I saw that little stat. It's a good nugget.
So looking into some games this week, to me, I know that I actually looked at the Thursday night game, and I typically like to stay away from Thursday night games. To me, this is a absolutely brutal Thursday night game to watch.
I'm high on the Rams.
Here's my question, though, or here's the one thing. On the Rams.
Yep.
Vlad?
Yeah.
What did you notice about the Rams?
Look where the money is, man. All L.A.
85% of the money. 85% of the spread money on the Rams. 84% of the money line money on the Rams.
Huge amount of money.
And it went down. It started at a 3, and it went down to 2.5, even with the money on the Rams.
Here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the total. It was 41.5 when I looked at it. It might be down to 41 now.
It's 40 right now.
40.
I don't care. I think typically Thursday night games are brutal to watch. Defenses are ahead of the offenses. They're always brutal. You have two. Like the Niners' offense is awful. I still don't think the Rams' offense is any
Carlos
good.
Hyde looked good.
I'm ready to bet the under in this game and feel very confident about it and I'll watch this game and hope for a miserable game. And I'll watch and hope that Todd Gurley does something.
As long as the Rams stay off the scoreboard on defense, this should be good.
I like that play.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I'll be watching this game is if I bet the under on it, but I do think that is an interesting play. Ron, anything that stands out to you as you look through those lines?
Scavenge through the lines here. We did talk about a teaser.
I actually have a play while Ron looks up his. We talked about like slow starting teams and who's more notorious for a slow start than the Seattle Seahawks. I feel like every year they start off horrible.
Love where you're going with this.
So Tennessee, they broke my heart first week losing to Oakland, but they're getting a -2.5. Started at -1.
Yeah,
they're at home. The money's with the Titans, but Seattle just can't score at all. They no offense. I think they're going to continue to have a slow start this year, and I like Tennessee at that -2.5 spread.
Really?
Screams teaser to me.
Yeah,
really.
I'm going to go with the Titans at -2.5.
Really?
Wow.
I actually
I think you're speaking for both of us here.
Mr. Flad actually think this might be the opportunity to jump on Seattle. And let me tell you why.
Sure.
This is going to be the ultimate overreaction to Seattle playing awful last week against
a division game
against San Fran. This line, I think, should be probably closer. What, in terms of...
Or closer to a field goal by Seattle?
Yeah, I think Seattle should probably be favored. I love getting Seattle in a teaser here. I think, could the Titans win this game? Yes, but to get Seattle up to plus 8.5, 9, I think is a very, very good play in the first leg of a teaser.
Where's the money on this game, Vlad?
All over.
It's Tennessee.
Early money is all over Tennessee.
What you want to do if you like Seattle, wait, bet dogs late. That's what you do. Hopefully you can get a 3.5. Maybe get it up to 10 if you like a 7.5.
If you're looking for something to sound like one of our listeners who mixes up parlays and teasers. If you're looking for something to tease this with, I don't hate teasing with New England, who is favored by 13.5, taking on Houston
on a long week.
Listen, rookie quarterbacks typically don't do well against Belichick. You got Deshaun Watson on the road there. I like New England. You can tease that down to right around a little over a touchdown. I think New England easily gets this done.
Looking at this game, I kind of like the over 43.5.
Yeah, I actually like that too.
I think that could Tom Brady get there himself? Maybe.
What do you guys think about the Denver Broncos -2.5 going to Buffalo?
Tough back-to-back games for the Bills.
Saw that, Ray. Saw that. Very interesting line. That why is it only
Denver -3?
Yeah, why is it only Denver -3?
That's the one thing that
Buffalo's a tough place.
This is the intern. This is me teaching you right here. The first question you have to ask yourself when you see a line like that is, what do they know that I don't?
Exactly.
Because that's the mistake that both Ron and I probably made last week with UCLA.
That's the way to learn.
I just would just stay away from it.
Yeah.
I was staring at that line for a while, and I'm like, you know what?
Honestly, I would
stay away, Vlad. Stay away, Vlad.
But that's the one thing when you see a line like that,
stay away.
that jumps out to you. You got to ask yourself, what do the odds makers know that I don't? I do think defense travels well, and I do think the Broncos defense will travel. If I had a gun to my head, I'm gonna put my money on the Broncos. I'm not gonna bet the Bills. But to me, this is one you probably stay away.
Like,
where's the money at?
It's on the total being 40.
We got money.
90% of the money is
99% of the money on
money is
91.
91% of spread money early here. I mean, this is Tuesday when we're recording this. Is all over Denver.
What do they know?
What do they know that we don't?
That's why I'm not an odds maker.
Anything else you see that you want to talk about?
We talked about our teaser. Are we going to make that New England and
Seattle? I want to make it New England. For me, I like New England and Seattle. I don't know what you like, but I
like doing Seattle more than Denver. I like getting close to double digits.
Yeah, I personally like Seattle and New England in a teaser. That's what I would bet. I know we might feel you guys might feel a little bit different, but if I'm betting a teaser, that's probably what it is.
Flat, are you still alive in your survival pool?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Who'd you pick last week?
Last week I picked the Raiders, which is a very popular pick. They won, obviously. And
I have two. I'm probably going to take New England with one. That's going to be a popular pick.
That's who I'm going with.
But my second pick, I'm not sure. I thought about Pittsburgh, but they suck on the road. There's really not much else I feel great about. Maybe Denver, but that again is going to be a popular pick. Do you guys have any insight? I don't like Kansas City going to the Chargers. I don't like that at all. The Browns favored for probably the first time in 10 years.
Here in on the road. Here's one for you. When do you have to submit your survivor pick by?
Before Thursday.
I like to send them in. I might send them in tonight.
Okay, well, I was going to say you wait and see what happens with Sam Bradford, and if Bradford doesn't play, you take the Bucks. But I don't know how late you have to wait, or how late
what do we think about Miami going to?
I was just looking at
division game. It's
I would stay away
for me.
I would stay away.
A little scary for me.
Stay away.
Maybe Green Bay
might be a good pick. But then,
But then again, the Bengals they I mean, their back is against the wall.
When does Andy Dalton get benched? Yeah. The Red Rockets.
I heard Kaepernick is
people in the locker room
trying to get the job.
There's people in the locker room who are calling for Kaepernick. So
I did hear that. Another the Monday night game. I might like Dallas -3. Great spot to bet Dallas after looking bad.
Yes,
They're obviously not as bad as that score indicated.
But David Johnson out Arizona's very very one dimensional in terms of throwing the football. I think Dallas can slow the game down. And I think that could be a good spot for Dallas. I agree with that.
Anything else moving forward here?
I got nothing.
That's it for me, man.
Yep, me too.
Enjoy this week, guys.
So I think that pretty much wraps up our podcast here for this week. Obviously, we gave you some college plays.
Season 3, Episode 4.
Season 3, Episode 4. We're rolling here. A little bit of momentum. A little hot last week. Now
hey, listen, we are filming this on Tuesday, so these lines are probably going to move by the time we get this out to you and by the time kickoff. So.
And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Remember to enter that SBV promo code to get 15% off your tune-up of that Razor scooter.
Adios.